button right here.
That button right there. The Rock Metal Podcast, episode 208 with Malacoda.
Malacoda.
What is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was Mannequin Heart by Malacoda, who I've got on the show with me right now. I've got a new album called Restless Dreams that's released via Rockshots Records on October 19th in North America and on October 26th in Europe. And right now I'm being joined by Lucas Damasio to share some stories about the music and share more info about the band. So Lucas, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
Absolutely. Great to have you on. Definitely some really cool stuff. I'm very excited for Rock Metal Nation to take part. Speaking of which, let's go and listen back to that track, Mannequin Heart.
Mannequin Heart.
Mannequin Heart, definitely a very killer track. Get it? Killer track, but but yeah, definitely a killer track. We can get into the whole concept of the album here pretty shortly, and maybe even a little bit sooner. I'm curious, what is the story or inspiration behind Mannequin Heart?
So the whole concept is the album's based on some of the themes and interpretations I had of the classic horror video game Silent Hill 2. And the kind of idea behind this is it's kind of exploring how guilt can actually be something that can cripple somebody. I know not everything is really deep, and everything that we do is always very deep and it's not lighthearted. We're trying to make people feel something, and we're not afraid to kind of delve into like the darker aspects of humanity and of the human condition, if you will. So it's roughly about kind of infidelity and how kind of as society, you take a look at a mannequin, and it's kind of like this idealized, kind of sexualized, perfect human form, much like the kind of Greek myth Pygmalion, the guy who built the statue and fell in love with the statue because it was so lifelike. And just kind of playing on that kind of theme of falling in love with something that's kind of unattainable.
So many themes in this track. I mean, how guilt can cripple somebody, which, I mean, kind of hard to measure, but there's definitely stories throughout time of somebody witnessably, if that's a word, witnessably, you see them 4 or 5 years later and they're just a complete wreck. And the only thing you can walk away from it is they were stressed out too much or they were guilty too much. Like there was something emotional going on and nothing actually physical. And then we got the theme of infidelity and falling in love with something like an Adonis statue because it's so glorious.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, like everything we've done has always had like a tinge of horror behind it. So again, people who know the video game Silent Hill 2, they'll kind of know what I'm referencing by the title. When I say Mannequin Heart, there's a creature in the game it's a mannequin basically. And just based on that description that I gave you, you kind of have an idea as to what it looks like.
Cool. Now, for Rock the Notion who dug the track Mannequin Heart, we'll be excited to know that there is a music video to accompany the track. So if you go to today's show notes, that's www.therockmetalpodcast.ca. You can go into the music video. Now, Lucas, if you wouldn't mind taking us through the production of the glorious music video for Mannequin Heart.
So that was a fun one to do. People who know us know that we don't skimp on the music videos. We tend to go all out with them. This time around, I want to do something different than what we've done in the past. I wanted to do like an animation. So there's the band playing through the track, and then we hired an animator based out of Toronto named Carly McCloskey, and she's super, super talented. And she's known for doing stop motion animation. So, we've been called the Nightmare Before Christmas band before.
All right. Because
I guess people said our music sounds like if Danny Elfman did metal.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll take that. Sure. So again, if you look at the music video, it kind of does have a little bit of a Nightmare Before Christmas vibe because of the stop motion. That took ridiculously long to do because stop motion takes a lot of time. We shot the band scenes in like an afternoon, right? And then the actual stop motion scenes probably took a couple of months because you got to take a picture for every movement, right?
Yeah.
So that was fun to do. We filmed that in Innisfil, Ontario, in a little cottage, kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, then sounds good. I mean, it definitely has the darker aspects. It kind of took me back and reminded me of Tool and 9 Inch Nails music videos.
Yeah. A lot of people have told me that too, and I think that's something that I mean, you don't really see music videos like that anymore.
No,
at least I can't remember a lot. Obviously it's taken forever for Tool to come out with something, but like videos like that were very 90s, very early 2000s. And a lot of music videos I see these days, just looking at like local bands and stuff like that, a lot of it is just either a band performance video or playthrough video, or it's usually got some sort of acted scene. But I haven't seen anything with kind of animation in it coming in a local sense.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, let's kind of harken back to kind of my love of the kind of late 90s, early 2000s music videos that kind of embrace kind of that weirder animation side. Mm-hmm. And let's kind of see what we can come up with.
Absolutely. All right, let's go and take a listen to the next track, Wrapped in Laments.
Wrapped in laments.
Rock Metal Nation, it's John from the Rock Metal Podcast for a real quick break to let you know that Jay over at Metal Mayhem Radio is looking to help you get your band in rotation on his station. So go ahead and hit up Jay at studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. That is studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. Just go ahead and say that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. He'll get you into rotation on Metal Mayhem Radio. All right, come back from Wrapped in Laments, another spooky track. I definitely dig the way it was mixed, especially in the intro where there's this, I don't know, screaming or something going on in the background, but there's singing going on in the front ground. There's just so much cool stuff going on with the stereo image. Now, similar question for you. We know it's going to be related to the Silent Hill 2, but what's the story or inspiration behind Wrapped in Laments?
So for this one, there's a really iconic figure called the Lying Figure. It's like the first kind. It's probably one of the most iconic aspects of the game. And spoiler alert, everybody should know this by now because the game's been out for like 20 years. But the main character's wife was dying of skin cancer, and she felt like she was trapped in her own skin. So the creature represents how his wife felt because it's wrapped in a straitjacket of its own skin. And it's only trapped with its thoughts. Again, as I said, this is all really deep and not really happy stuff. I usually say to people, if you want to feel good, don't listen to us. We're pretty depressing sometimes. But it's and I just kind of like the imagery of it. It just kind of that feeling of trapped in your own skin. That's why it's a really aggressive song. I tried to capture that feeling of people can, I think, can imagine being trapped in a room or in a physical location, but actually being trapped in your own body. To me, that's actually truly horrifying. I can't imagine what that's like. So this is, I think, the best way I could musically give that idea to somebody.
Yeah. Is it weird from, as you were saying that, I was like, well, if you're not currently trapped in your own body, then where are you?
Right. Well, maybe. Well, now we're going to get all philosophical. Maybe you're trapped in somebody else's body. I don't know.
This is true. All right. So for Rock Metal Nation who dug the 2 tracks, Mannequin Heart and Wrapped in Laments, will be excited to know that there is a full album coming on October 19th in North America and October 26th in Europe, and it's called Restless Dreams. So, Lucas, if you wouldn't mind, when we pick up Restless Dreams, what should we expect?
You should probably expect I'm going to say it's a challenging album to listen to because it's not like anything we've done in the past. A lot of people who know us, they've heard our first album. They kind of go, oh, this is the band that kind of has a bit more of a hard rock edge. And second release is a full-blown symphonic metal release. I think a lot of people were expecting us to do another symphonic metal release. And this is definitely not that. I'd say it's a challenging listen because it's a concept album. Almost all the songs flow into each other. It takes you on a journey. And as we talked about, there's, the mix is kind of a dynamic mix, as I call it. Things kind of move back and forth depending on the part of the song and the part of the album. So I expect that people should want to go on a journey when they pick this record up. Cool.
Very cool. Now, the next logical question on Rock Metal Nation's mind is, how can we find out more about you? Is there a place we should go to on the web?
Yeah, there's a few places. You can definitely look us up on the label website, rockshots.eu. But we've also got a website which probably needs to be a little bit updated, but you can look us up at www.malacodametal.com. And of course, we've got all Facebook, Instagram, all those links are on our website.
Cool. All right. Well, Lucas, if there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come onto the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing Malacoda with Rock Metal Nation.
It was great being on there, man. Have fun playing in the snow.
All right, Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully you just found your new favorite band in Malacoda. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.